I still remember the very first time that I stood inside a landfill. It was many, many years ago, and it was somewhere in the middle of India's monsoons on the outskirts of Mumbai. The air was sticky, and it carried with it the smell of rotting garbage. And as far as my eye could see, it was just piles and piles of trash, shopping bags, old clothes, old phones, rising 18, 20 stories high up, merging into the city skyline. And there were children running around. Some were playing, some were working. And their mothers were often working with them. Their backs weighed down with these big black bags, looking for anything of value that they could retrieve and sell. These children, these mothers, they were caught in a problem that they did not create. We did. In the next 5 minutes, while I'm going to be standing up here, we are going to generate over 6 million pounds of plastic from the food we eat and the clothes we discard, and less than 10% of that will actually get recycled here. The rest goes into a landfill or put on a ship and sent halfway across the world to Vietnam, India, Indonesia, Somalia, to countries that we know are not equipped to handle it. And in the absence of formal waste management, there arose a corrupt, exploitative, informal sector that today employs tens of millions of people across South America, Africa, and Asia, the majority of whom are women, who stand at the front lines providing a crucial, often singular line of defense against our garbage, but at a deadly personal cost. The chemicals from plastic and electronic waste that they handle on a regular basis have been proven to mess with their body's hormones, causing fertility issues, causing painful menstrual issues. They suffer from much higher incidences of cancer. Children, less than 10 years of age, addicted to drugs and alcohol because being high was the only way to get through all of the smells, their revulsion to handling rotting garbage. Entire communities who have a life expectancy of less than 39 years. The plastic crisis does not exist in a vacuum. It is as much a women's issue, as much a human tragedy, as it is an environmental catastrophe. At rePurpose Global, we're fighting to change that reality. We're fighting to end plastic waste, to go from this linear economy that we live in, where we have this use and throw culture, into a circular economy, where every piece of resource that we take from the planet is regenerated, renewed, recycled, given new life. We now partner with over 350 brands and retailers around the world, helping them reduce their plastic footprint and invest in waste management recovery and recycling infrastructure across 3 continents, 7 countries, 30 regions. And this network has now been able to remove over 65 million pounds of plastic waste from some of the world's most fragile and vulnerable ecosystems. Thank you. And all of it was given new life. So one of my favorite examples is from Colombia, where we're able to take multi-laminate plastic packaging, your chips wrappers and candy wrappers that have nowhere else to go, and transform it into affordable housing for local communities, from plastic waste into parks and playgrounds for children. And my favorite part about all of this is that in these efforts, we have actually been able to bring dependable waste management as a dignified, basic human right to over 1 million people for the very first time. And we've created 2,300 new jobs, 2/3 of which have gone to women, because progress has to be intersectional. The solutions must reflect all the lived realities of the problem. And I know that's still a drop in the ocean, but here's the good news. It's working. Our research indicates that in the next 15 years, we will be able to reduce the amount of waste that is mismanaged by 90% by investing about $5.2 trillion into the circular economy across different initiatives. That's about 0.2% of the global GDP. It's a big number, but it's possible. It's possible to fix this problem in our lifetimes. Our children do not have to inherit our waste. This blazer, the suit that I get to wear today, it actually was born many, many years ago, many decades ago, somewhere on the outskirts of Mumbai as a traditional Indian sari. It was made for a very special woman for a very special occasion. And she passed it on to her daughter, who passed it on to hers, who shared it with me. And in wearing it today, I get to rejoice in the generations of shared community and womanhood that it represents. Our children do not have to inherit our waste. There is a new future that can be built, but one where we continue to remember that we owe a debt of gratitude to the millions of informal workers who have been subsidizing our economic growth for the last 40 years. And there can be no true environmental justice without intersectional progress globally, because our oceans and our garbage do not recognize international borders. So as we build this fantastic new circular economy, we have the opportunity, the obligation, to make sure that we improve the lives of the millions of women at the front lines while we safeguard this beautiful planet. Thank you.